Welcome to our tub. Come on in. It's warm inside, and there's always room for more.
This podcast contains adult material and is intended for mature audiences only. If you're under 18, grab your rubber ducky and find another tub. This one's not for you. Hello and welcome to episode 58 in the tub. I'm Mr. Berg.
And I'm Mrs. Berg.
And once again today, Mrs. Berg, we have a full episode interview.
We sure do.
It was a true pleasure to sit and talk with a local couple here to Pittsburgh, Cheeta and Angel. So we know Angel from the past. Mm-hmm. And this was our first time having a conversation with Cheeta.
Yeah.
And definitely more conversations in the future with these two. They are host couples. They're entertainers. They're performers. They travel to a lot of these resorts on hosted trips. They do local vanilla bar events and game shows and karaoke and DJing here in the Pittsburgh area. And
as well as the local lifestyle clubs.
Sure, yes, and hotel takeovers. They do some as well. Just a really great couple all around. We recorded for about an hour, but talked for literally almost 3 hours with them. Mm-hmm. And I'll just say it was pretty funny because me and him are really similar.
Yeah.
Definitely. The start of a great friendship with these guys. Again, talk a lot about what they do, how they run some different games, how they get crowds and guests on trips and at these hotel parties into it, and how they start the party and keep the party going, and really the focus of getting people to intermix and feel comfortable at some of these events and things that they may not otherwise be comfortable at.
So and all the work that goes into planning these things.
Yes, all the work, all the time, all the luggage as they're traveling, as you'll hear them talk about as well. So again, we aren't going to take up a lot of time here today. We want to hop right into the interview. Again, we thank you for tuning in and listening. You can subscribe on Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Pandora, Spotify. Download and listen from your phone in ourtub.com. Be sure to keep up on all our shenanigans and future shenanigans on our social media links. Twitter and Instagram, Berg Couple for Fun. Reddit, Berg Couple. On Facebook, we are The Bergs. And we're also on Cassidy.com at Berg Couple for Fun. We as well are counting down here to Exotica Chicago, coming up here at the end of April. We will be out there for the weekend. Also, right now, the ASN Awards pre-nominations are going on. You can find that at asnlifestylemagazine.com/nominations. And hey, if you feel so obliged, we would love a write-in nomination. And make sure you go through and nominate the performers, the stores, your lifestyle venues. The folks at ASN have really grown from more of a lifestyle periodical to really an all things naughty and encompassing company. They're not just lifestyle; they're adult entertainment, travel. They really are growing and doing a great job in what they're doing. So be sure to check out their site as well. And again, it's time to slide on into the tub here for this week's episode with Cheeta and Angel. So until next time,
we'll keep the lights on and the tub warm for you. This episode is brought to you by Cassidy.com. Have you ever wished there was an all-encompassing way to find sexy, like-minded people in your area? Well, Cassidy has hit that on the head. The Cassidy platform brings the best of sexy social media, profile searches, rendezvous, party calendars, and travel all into one. Find and make new friends, share your naughtiest of pictures with select friends in your backstage pass, and plan your next naughty encounter all at once. Follow the Cassidy link in our tub to try it out free for 30 days. When you join, you'll be added to our community to get some early sneak peeks. You'll also be first to know where you may find us out and about.
All right. Welcome back in the tub for this week's episode. As we had said, we have some special guests with us today. Our next guests are a couple that literally are the life of the party, whether it be a vanilla bar evening, a weekend hotel takeover, or a hosted resort week. If they're involved, the energy, shenanigans, and fun are guaranteed to be aplenty. Please welcome Cheeta and Angel. How are you guys?
Hey, guys.
Morning.
Morning. How are you?
We're doing, as we talked a little bit before this, it's spring forward. We lost an hour.
Time changes a killer.
Yeah. Hopefully this is the last one, though, so people are saying that they want to get rid of all this craziness.
Yeah, I heard that. I was kind of hoping they would because we're the only place that does it.
Yeah. Insanity. So, before we get started and with our conversation, is there some, social media or online links that you guys want to share where people might be able to find you and see what you got going on and what you're doing?
Well, not really. I mean, you can find out about us at World Exotic Travel, where they're sponsored entertainment. And
all right. So, again, World Exotic, you can see a lot of their trips coming up. There is a link on our site to World Exotic, and you'll be able to find all that right there.
Yeah, they have several different trips every year that they have planned, and it's always just a great time.
Yeah, definitely. And as they have been past guests of the show, and we talked about that as well. So, as I said in the intro, whether it's a vanilla or a weekend or a hosted resort, so kind of give us a little insight. What is it that you mainly do?
Well, we're full-time entertainers and performers. But the thing that kind of makes us a little different is that, I don't know, we're kind of a jack of all trades. We designed and created a game show. We can host karaoke. We disc jockey. We're video DJs. We design and create pool games to do around the pools at the different resorts. So it's really just kind of a full gamut, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Well, you hit any type of crowd, really.
Yeah, well, and we keep it. It's funny because we'll create one that's always vanilla, and then as soon as we're done with the vanilla version, then we start looking at a lifestyle version and figuring out how we can adapt it to the lifestyle.
Well, and that can kind of keep you going because, hey, yeah, like test it at a local bar and make sure it works there. And then, all right, how can we sexy it up?
Spice it up?
Well, the best part is all the testing of the sexy versions happen here in our living room. And
no one will ever play a game that I haven't myself done beforehand.
And she is our test monkey. It's some of the games work, and some of them she's like, "Oh hell no, there is no way," and I can't even believe you had me do this.
Well, hey, in a way, that could be some promotion. Talk about some funny YouTube videos or TikTok promotion. Be like, yeah, no, this doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because we really, because I've been a professional performer for so long and in the vanilla world, that when I crossed over and started performing lifestyle, I wanted to make sure I had one really strict rule for myself, that there is a thin line. And even though it's lifestyle, you have got to take it to the edge where the guys are having a great time, but the women don't get offended. And there is a very thin line, even if it's lifestyle. And a lot of people don't understand that you can cross over into offensive. And everything you think is funny might not end up funny in the right audience. And so we look at even the age group and the demographic of our audience that traveled with us or is at the resort currently. And sometimes that'll change what our performance is going to be or what games we're going to do.
That's fair. And something that I guess until you just said that, didn't necessarily think about, yes, the different age brackets and, customers are always different, I guess. So, yes, that's going to make sense in those as well.
We want to make sure the 25-year-olds can do it, but also the 70-year-olds can do it because these resorts have every age.
Yeah, it's a wide demographic when you get to a resort. And even, I guess, if you're taking a group to a resort and you're hosting a group at a resort, it's still not a full, you're never really overtaking everything. So you are going to have people outside the group that you want to kind of tie in as well, I would think.
Well, that, and when you go to, say, Hito, or you go to Coco Plum Island, or even when we were at the X Club in Toronto, there are always people there. There's so many different dynamics to the lifestyle. And you have people that just want to dress sexy or just want to be voyeurs or just want to
be a nudist.
They're not everyone is at the same level of lifestyle. So we have to make sure that we cater to the masses and and we never want to exclude anyone.
And we've talked about that, over episodes as well. You're absolutely right. Not everybody is full swap. Hey, how you doing? Shake my hand. All right, let's bang.
Exactly. And that's why it's funny because when we go to the pool, say we're at Hito and we're going down to do a 2-hour pool party, we're going to do, generally speaking, if it's a really energetic crowd, probably 3 or 4 games. But we bring 9 with us because we have to see what the crowd is going to be into. And we have to read their vibe. And we start out the music and get on the mic and see what their reactions are. And then we tailor the pool party. And a game that would work today may not have worked the day before. So it's all about the different vibe in the pool.
Yeah. And you have to be able to switch on. You need to be able to ad lib.
Exactly. You've got to be able to be liquid or fluid. You have to change on the fly because, hey, maybe the glow party was really great last night and everybody's hungover today. Or, maybe it's rainy or maybe the sun's out and the booze is just going down perfect tonight and everybody's got a great buzz. So you really have to just look at your environment and kind of plan it that way. So we bring all kinds of extra props and everything because we don't know what we're walking into from show to show.
Wow.
So how much luggage do you travel with?
That's what was going through my head at this point. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of travel bags.
When we first started, it was way worse, but we've actually got luggage stored in Jamaica. So we leave some of our games and props down there. But we still travel with 7 or 8 suitcases when we go, and it
karaoke mics, DJ controller, computers, we have everything.
And the craziest part about it is I ended up on a hit list with Homeland Security somehow, and 9 trips in a row. 9 in a row. That's not a coincidence.
No,
I got randomly selected for a gunpowder test, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. And the first time it happened when Angel was with me, it was in Jamaica. No, the first one in Belize was kind of scary. That was her first trip out of the country. She was really nervous. And we're waiting in line to check our luggage. And this woman comes up with 2 men with M16s. And she's like, you will come with us. Uh-oh. And I was, okay. And I start to walk and Angel starts to follow me. She goes, no, you will have a seat, ma'am.
That was not a place I wanted to be left alone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. To the end of the airport, through a metal detector, outside, across the tarmac, down to this little building. And they unzipped my luggage after they x-rayed it. And he looked at me and they've got guns and everything. And I'm standing there like, what is going on? I'm thinking, I watched Locked Up Abroad. I'm going to find out who fired down here. I got to join a gang. And he unzips my luggage and he looks and he says, is this a printer? And I said, no, sir, that is a speaker. And he goes, why do you have all the wires? And then I was confused. And I was like, well, that's what makes the speaker work. And he was like, oh, well, you have a wonderful, safe trip. And he zips up my bag. The whole demeanor changed. They bring me back. She's sitting in the airport like a scared 3-year-old, like wondering what just happened because I got led away at gunpoint. And I said, believe it or not, this is happening to me a lot for some reason. And she goes, no way. The next 8 trips to Jamaica, I got randomly selected and pulled aside to be tested for gunpowder. They weigh my shoes. They go through all my luggage. And I think it's because I have wires and all these electronics.
I was going to say, yeah, is it just one of those, okay, yeah, here we go. We got wires and a box and in a bag.
Yeah, so that's one of the hazards of traveling in the entertainment business. So we're currently looking into the whole TSA or global entry and everything so that we can bypass all of that.
Yeah, people
nightmare.
do not like us when they're behind us in that security line.
Yeah,
we have to take so much stuff out of our suitcases.
Every electronic we have to pull out of our suitcase to put in a little bucket to send through the X-ray.
We have like 10 buckets.
Yeah.
Then you've got to pack it all back up. That's
Yeah. And with that, it's like, okay, well, they say to be there an hour and a half before the flight. Guess what? We're going to be there 3. Plus, if you're going international, you're supposed to be there even longer before that with customs and everything. Gosh, you're at the airport for 4 hours before the flight.
Yeah, exactly. And it is funny, though, every once in a while, there will be like a young TSA agent or in whichever country in the United States or whatever. But it is so funny because I unzip the bag and I'll pull out my controller. And he's like, dude, are you a DJ? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, that's really cool. Which one is this? Let me see it. And I'm like, guy, I really got to catch a flight.
Yeah.
But it's funny how some of the younger guys get all excited when they see that you've got DJ equipment when you're traveling. Kind of helps you get through quicker.
Yeah, I was going to say the positive. And like thinking of that, so we've had some interviews and talking to some adult performers, and they just laugh because they're like, yeah, we're going through security, and they're like, oh, well, what's this? And they're pulling out stainless steel butt plugs and dildos and stuff. I'm like,
the last trip we went to Jamaica, just before we left, I put a clear double-headed dildo in her backpack. And we're standing at TSA
and I'm looking at the monitor.
And she's watching the monitor as her bag comes through. And she goes, is that a double-headed dildo? And just then the guy backs the backpack up.
Keeps staring at it.
And he tilts his head and he starts laughing. And he's just shaking his head and he let it roll through. And she's like, why did you do that? I said, for this exact reason. This is exactly why I did it.
He likes to see me turn red.
That is great. All right. Starting off the trip, having fun. There you go.
There's never a dull moment in our life. Like, we, honest to God, could find a way to have fun scrubbing a toilet with a toothbrush. I mean, that's the kind of people we are.
And again, we've said it before. Guess what? We only live once. Have fun. Enjoy it.
Right. Why put it off? You know, all you can do is try to make as many great memories as you can.
Exactly. So as you guys kind of, plan these trips and plan the different things that you got going on, is there a rhyme or reason or method to the madness? Or is it just like, hey, we want to go here. We want to do this. Like, how's that all come about?
We're really not that fortunate, to be honest with you. We don't say, hey, we want to go here. Usually World Exotic Travel calls us and says, we need you to go here. And you're going to be there for this many days.
It's also been, we've met people like in Jamaica who have seen us and want us to come to their area and do their club or hotel takeover. That's what happened with the Upside Down Pineapples.
Yeah,
and the X Club.
That was the X Club in Toronto. We met the owner of the club in Jamaica in the pool. And he said, where are you from? And I said, Pittsburgh. And he said, is there any chance that is Toronto too far away? And I looked around and I said, are you aware we're standing in a pool in Jamaica? I'm like, Toronto closer than Jamaica. Yeah, we can come to Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto's a 4.5 hour drive from here, 5 hours maximum. It's not bad at all.
So for us, I mean, we had a blast when we went up there, but a lot of times they just call us, tell us where we're going. They'll tell us the name of the group, but usually we don't know the people in the group. And then we just, we have checklists in our phones for packing, and we go through our checklist, and we have luggage that's already packed from the last trip. And
we don't unpack.
We don't unpack a lot of the games and everything because we know we rinse them off, dry them, put them back in the suitcase, and we leave them there.
Have go
But
bags ready to go. Save yourself some time. Yeah.
Absolutely.
we literally got sent to Belize for 9 or 10 days with 1 week notice.
Yeah.
I think it was like 5-day notice. And
wow.
we were like, absolutely, we want to go to Belize. That sounds like an amazing trip. And it really was. It was off the charts. But sometimes you get a 6 months notice. Sometimes you get a week, so you just kind of have to be prepared and ready to go.
Very nice. Nothing wrong with that. Again, like you said, having fun and okay, we'll find a flight and let's go and let's do it.
Well, the nice part is we don't even have to do that. They call and say,
Here's
this
your
is when
flight.
you're late. We're emailing you your flight confirmations. Be at the airport at this time and get there, So
Even better.
it's because they take care of all our travel. They take care of our rooms and, the flights. Everything is done for us. We just have to show up when we're supposed to show up.
Wow. Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah, exactly. Less stress. Oh, just make sure everything is packed and you're ready to go. And at the same time, I mean, you're going for now 9-10 days. That's kind of, it's a long trip. That's for sure.
That's actually our sweet spot. We like that amount of time. It's when they send us for 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks that we're like, oh, it's a lot.
Yeah. I highly recommend if you're going to go on a trip like that, right around 9 or 10 days, you're good. You're starting to miss home. You're starting to want to get back to your own furniture and your bed and, get back to life. When you get past 10 days, you start to really, you're burned out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially in a place like Hito. I mean, that's a no holds barred party, 22 hours a day. So at the end of 10 days, you're a rock star. And you look at it and it's funny because they came down and of course they have the new Hito shop. And they come down and ask me to announce that when you're there, your first day, you get 10% off anything you buy at our shop. And she went to walk away, and this tells you the vibe of Hito. She went to walk away, and she goes, "Oh, I forgot, Cheeta. Please tell them they can only buy 2 ounces a day." And I was like, "What?
What?
I mean, ounces. Snoop Dogg and Willie can't smoke 2 ounces a day." But that's the vibe of Hito. It's about indulgence and loving life and making memories and having a good time. And you go so hard for that first 10 days that you're just, you're ready to be done by the end of it.
Yeah. It's time to level out.
Right. And we've definitely discovered as we've gotten older, it takes us longer to recover than when we were like in our 20s.
Yeah.
I have found that one thing that really, really helps us, and I'm not doing a plug for any company, but Liquid IV is a godsend for us. We take little packets of Liquid IV and we drink one in the morning and one at night before bed. And it makes a huge difference when you stay hydrated.
And,
especially right in the sun, all the alcohol.
Yeah. At Hito, sitting in a pool and just drinking all day. Yeah, I could see where that, it goes to, again, we have the hot tub and it's the same thing. I mean, I can come home at the end of the night and I'll grab a bourbon and a beer and a cigar and you go and sit in that hot tub and that heat, it taps you. You're done when you start drinking liquor.
Oh, 100%.
So, yeah, hydration. But, yeah, Liquid IV, we'll have to look into that because it's always been like, hey, grab the Pedialyte.
Yeah, the Liquid IV, and it's nice because Hito gives you water bottles when you check in. And they're just the right size for a packet of Liquid IV. Nice. So we put water in the fridge, and then when we come back at night, we just dump the Liquid IV in, and it's ice cold. You shake it up, and you drink it. And they're really flavorful. They taste great. Mm-hmm. And it's supposedly the equivalent of drinking 4 bottles of water instead of 1.
Oh, wow.
They've got a lot of different flavors, too.
Yeah. Strawberry happens to be my favorite. And Costco sells, like, Mondo boxes of it for, you get 48 of them in a box.
Well, Costco's on our fight to craziness later this afternoon, so maybe we'll have to stop and look.
Good
luck. Yeah. Unfortunately, with the one day off, it's like, we got to go shopping. That's when 3/4 of everybody else is out there.
Or that's always the fun part of traveling too, is finding time to grocery shop for the stuff that you, kind of made sure you were out of since you were going to be gone that long.
Yeah.
know that all so well.
Yeah, we dwindle our supplies at the house, but then when we come home the first day, we have like nothing to live on, so we have to go shopping.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we might have some ramen noodles. That's dinner.
Exactly. And, and it's funny because our shopping list is the most ridiculous when we're going on a trip because we're buying props and we're buying fruit roll-ups that it's one of our games and fruit by the foot. And people look at us like, what is wrong with these people? Look at what they're buying, and they have no idea where these fruit roll-ups are going to end up.
Yeah. And some people may want to know and others are going to be like, well, you what, huh? Oh, nice.
We started having whale racing, and we found inflatable 6-foot orcas, and we have people humping the whales across the pool in a relay race. And it is absolutely hysterical to watch. But, I thought, well, they have goat racing. Why can't we have whale racing? And so we advertise it as whale racing, and a lot of people come out because they're trying to figure out how we got whales to come to the beach. And then they realize that it's these actual huge inflatable whales. But should you ever be at a location with us and we advertise whale racing, that is an event you don't want to miss. That is really fun to watch.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun one. And again, with some of that, it's the way you advertise it and market it that, just like you said, people are going to go, wait a minute, what? Oh, I got to see this to find out what it is.
Exactly.
Nice.
And, it's the crowd that gives you the energy, and it's the people that are participating in the games that actually make it fun. The last whale racing game we did, we were doing it at a takeover in an indoor pool. And there were 2 women on the team together, and the one humped this whale across the pool like it was a cigarette boat. It just flew across the pool with her. And she got out, and her partner got on it, and she's trying to get the whale to move, and the whale's not moving. And then the ultimate classic line came out that I will always remember. She screams at her partner, "Ride it like you're trying to get off, not him." I just lost it. I was like, that is hysterical. And suddenly the whale started to move.
Oh, even better.
And I was like, wow, the pit crew helped her out.
Oh, that is great. So, is there one game that you guys do that no matter what the feel is, gets people into it? That's like, this is your go-to, let's get the party started, everybody loves this.
Well, it's funny because when we first get to a location, our games start out mild, and as the time progresses, whether we're there for one night or whether we're there for a week, as the days go on, our games get wilder. Okay, because I'm building you up. This is foreplay on day one. We're just teasing you a little and getting you ready for what's in store for the week. But we come out with full high energy, but our games get more wild because we're figuring out how far we can push the audience and how much fun they're willing to have and what they enjoy. But one of our first games that we do everywhere we go, which is absolutely ridiculous, but people in the lifestyle are about having fun. They don't need, they're not looking for high-tech 4D type entertainment for what they're doing. They want to just have a good time, and it's mindless. You don't want to think. You just want to be able to relax and have a good time. It's about the party. So our first game that we generally do is called Cock in a Cup. And you got to have a sexy name for these games or they flop every time.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be the best game on the planet. But Cock in the Cup came about because we found these little rubber finger chickens. And they're hideous looking, but they're little chickens. And I was throwing them into the pool because I really didn't know what they were for, how to use a finger chicken. And lo and behold, a woman grabbed one, stuck it on her finger, pulled the tail back, and launched it like a rubber band. And I thought, oh my God, these chickens fly. Okay. So I started thinking about it, and I thought, I can create a game with these. I know I can come up with a game. So what we do is we have the women sit on the side of the pool with their legs open, and we put a cup between their legs. And then their partner gets out away from them about 10 feet, and we give each competitor 5 rubber finger chickens. And they have to shoot the chickens and try to get it to go in the cup between the legs of their partner. Well, it's a fun game and it goes really well. But then the true enjoyment of this is when we're done, we throw more finger chickens out, and there are rubber chickens flying all over the pool, like everywhere we go. There are, and the rubber chickens are real soft rubber. And at the end of the show, you'll see rubber chickens stuck to the walls.
I'm usually the target.
And, Angel's got chickens stuck to her ass, and it's just a lot of fun, And to us, it's about the silly, zany, good time type of stuff to just get people warmed up and ready to play.
And I could just see where, that's having fun. That's laughing. That's, as you're trying to shoot and figure out how much you got to pull it back. And, sometimes you're, smacking them in the face. Sometimes it's going short, but yeah.
The bad part is every time we do the game, I hear my mother's voice echoing in my head. It's all fun till someone gets an eye put out.
Oh, yeah.
Could you see go into the emergency room with that? What happened to your eye?
Yeah.
Rubber cock.
It was 1 in a million, Doc.
Oh. So, and again, fun icebreaker that I guess I could see everybody around, even not there, laughing and just edging people on.
That's how you have a game that is good. Because you have 10 people playing the cock in a cup, but the whole pool is cheering and watching and having their favorite and laughing and screaming, and we do games with fruit roll-ups and everything. And by the time we're done, the audience is afraid to volunteer for this one because they have no idea what we're going to do. But by the time we're done, Angel's on the side of the pool throwing fruit roll-ups into the pool like they're guitar picks, and she's a rock star, It's just so, and the first time, I'll never forget the first time we broke it out the one time we broke it out, this young British couple had just gotten married at Hedo. And she was so cute. She was about 25 years old. And I hand her the fruit roll-up. She had never seen a fruit roll-up. She looks at her husband and says, "Look, honey, real American food." And I was like, it's a fruit roll-up. It's not apple pie.
Yeah, no, they don't know about. There's too much chemicals in those for Europeans.
Yeah, the husband was curious why they didn't sell them in England. He took a real shine to the fruit roll-ups.
Oh,
well, and that's got to be something that you have to kind of switch up how you do things with different cultures, people from different countries being there.
We really, I don't really think that plays much of a factor. I mean, when we're there, that would be a huge factor if you were in the vanilla world. But in the lifestyle, it's really, they all came there for a purpose. So they're expecting it, so I don't think culture or nationality really plays much of a factor because.
Well, not only that, we take volunteers for these games. We don't pressure anybody to get out. So if they don't feel, that it fits within their lifestyle, then they just don't volunteer.
Yeah, we don't ever want anyone to compromise their values or morals. This is on a volunteer basis, and we've had people come up and then they realize what the game is and they're like, "Oh no, I don't want to do this." Or my part, I thought this was a different kind of game. I didn't bring my husband. I brought some guy random that I didn't even know. I don't want to do that. I'm not comfortable. And they jump out and someone else just jumps right back in and then they'll sit and cheer, So it's really, there's never pressure. It's always, you cannot pressure people and be entertaining them. So it has to be a volunteer basis.
Yeah, if they're not comfortable, the whole lifestyle in general, it's comfort and it's your boundaries. So yeah, if they're not comfortable doing with something, they're not going to enjoy themselves, and it's going to reflect in the game. If they're just like, what the hell, I'll do it anyway, but I might not be comfortable. No, it's not for you. Sit and watch, enjoy.
Exactly. It's for us, it's all about the entertainment value. It's not about making someone do something that they don't want to do, because that's not what's going to get us invited back.
Yeah. And again, the people watching, as we said, that's fun and entertainment. I mean, just to sit back and watch somebody doing something a little crazy and off the wall. Yeah. Have fun with it.
Well, a lot of people look at the games and they think, oh, well, this is part of the party. This is part of having fun. But they don't realize that our games that we perform are icebreakers. It gives you something to talk about when the game's over. And it gives you a line to say, wow, you walk up to a total stranger and say, wow, you really use a finger chicken well, or, you it's a conversation starter and an icebreaker.
Sure.
And that's what the games are about, more so than just the game itself. It's a way to get people interacting and making them feel comfortable talking to someone, because you're standing there and you're like, well, I really want to talk to them, but what am I going to say? Well, now we've done this game and you have something you can go up and conversate about.
Sure. Or you're standing next to somebody at the pool watching it that you don't know, and you're both laughing. Guess what? When you're laughing and watching it, you're bonding and you're going to start a conversation. It's easier and you're more comfortable starting a conversation because you're standing next to them, laughing and enjoying what you're seeing.
Exactly. And, that's the big picture. And a lot of times people don't see the big picture from overhead. Mm-hmm. But the whole idea of it is to get people interacting and introducing themselves and having fun. Overall, the goal is just to have fun and interact with people.
Enjoy the trip, and by meeting other people, meeting new people. Exactly. So, icebreakers are important. It's something that, when you go to a local club, you don't have that. But here, if you're at Hito, you're there for, like you said, 7, 10, 12 days. Yeah, you might know a few people within the group you're there with, but you don't know the masses. So here, let's get some icebreakers during the day and let's have fun with it.
And I think a lot of times people get in their own head and don't realize that the person standing next to you that you want to talk to is having the same thoughts. And you get a little in your own head and you get in your own way, where it's been our experience, and I'm sure Angel will agree, at Hito, it's different than like most resorts. Everywhere you walk, when you walk past someone, they say good evening, or hey, how are you guys doing tonight, or good morning. And everyone's open to conversate. Everybody's there to meet people and have fun, and not necessarily play, but they're there to have a good time. And they want to make new friends. And we've met many couples in the last 3 years that came down, met people at a pool party or whatever, and now they plan their trip to go back to be around the people that they made friends with. They become lifelong friends down there.
Yeah.
And my favorite part of Hito is, and I was there probably the third or fourth trip, and it dawned on me that you don't know what the person standing next to you that's naked drove to get there. You don't see their expensive watch or their expensive purse. Hito is a level playing field. There is no clothes, so there's no status symbol. You can be standing next to an astronaut or a brain surgeon or a coal miner or a construction worker and find out that, you really do have things in common and can talk and get along and have a great evening partying together.
And that right there, that statement, is you. We've talked to people not in the lifestyle, and some in, and it's like, look, it's nice to go to even to some of the clubs because yes, some people are dressed nice, but you know what? There's no your bank account shouldn't matter.
Right.
Your yearly salary, what you do shouldn't matter. Guess what? Have a conversation. Like myself, I've been in sales for a while. I can bullshit with anybody about a lot of different things.
Right.
Yeah.
So, hey, it doesn't matter, like you said, what you drive, what kind of watch you wear. Do you have a $200 pair of shoes? You know what? It's just about having fun, meeting people, and having a good time at that point.
Literally, and it just puts everyone on a level playing field, and you just meet people that you would never have the opportunity to meet. And Angel and I strive to make those connections happen by, breaking the ice, entertaining them, getting them laughing, getting them singing, getting them dancing. And it's just about the interaction and having a ball no matter where you are.
Yeah, definitely.
And, a lot of times, even with the music selections, if I play there at a noon to 2, I know people are going to be hungover. So we're doing a little less bump, bump, bump type of music, and we're doing some classic rock, and we're doing some, easy listening type stuff that you can sway to and everyone knows the words to. And then, but if I come out at 2 to 4, I know that's a headline spot, and everybody's nursed their hangovers and they're getting a buzz, and they're ready to party. And the day has reset. And now we're going to come out with top 40 and stuff that gets people jumping and screaming and having a good time. Yeah. So a lot has to do with reading the crowd and knowing that, hey, the time frame and the atmosphere that you're walking into is going to differentiate upon what you're actually going to perform when you get there. So, it's neat because from us, we're standing back on the side of the pool watching everyone, and you can see the attitudes change as the alcohol or the hangover's wearing off, or as the alcohol's kicking in, or, the excitement for the fetish night is going to happen. And it's so neat to see the different emotions that are going on in the pool when we're watching everybody.
Yeah, I can imagine the energy and excitement level changes throughout the day. Like you said, in the morning, it's just like, all right, just let me keep drinking some water and get there. But yeah, by 4 o'clock, you're like, all right, let's get this party going.
Right, exactly. And, I love new people in Hito because they basically crash and burn the first 2 days, because they're not used to a place that you don't have to hurry up and drink. The bar's not going to close. They don't drink water. They don't get enough sleep because they don't want to miss anything. And then they don't realize that, no, this is just life here. This is, this is going to be here all day, all night. I got to pace myself or I'm going to miss my vacation.
You cannot go to Hito. And we've been told that. And we have not been to Hito. It's been on our list for so long. Hopefully here in the next year, we will get out there. But we've had people say, when you go, do not have FOMO. Do not have the fear of missing out, because you will miss out on at least a day and a half, because that'll be the third and half the fourth day, because you won't be able to get out of bed.
Mm-hmm.
There's usually if we're there for 9 days, there's at least one day that Angel and I are in bed by 8 o'clock, because you just get burned out. You're like, maybe we're getting old. I don't know, but you just can't go hard for 10 days. You're human.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we're from Western Pennsylvania. I mean, when you get into the tropical sun and everything, we see the sun maybe a third of the year. That tropical sun, when you get out of Western Pennsylvania, is going to hit you hard.
Oh, and the thing is we go in January every year, and we leave and it's 12 degrees, and we walk to 85-degree weather, and we're there for 10 days, and we come home. Last time we came home, there was 2 feet of snow, and the snow plows kept coming down the street and piling it in front of our driveway. So I had 6 feet of snow at the end of the drive, and it was just a nightmare, but you get down there and then you come home and it seems even colder than it was when you left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. After that long in the heat, you're like, whoa, wait a minute here.
Well, it's funny because the Jamaicans put on a coat when it gets below 75. And we're like, you're kidding me.
Yeah. And we've been to Florida in the winter, and like we have family, and we've been out to Vegas too. And it's like, it's 70 degrees. It's cold. I'm going, are you out of your mind? Like, come on. But hey, that's different areas. And well, here we are again, like I said, in Western Pennsylvania.
We're actually traveling to Florida pretty soon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're going to perform at Paradise Lakes Resort.
Yes, I did see that. We're not able to make it down there that weekend. So.
Well, then I'm going to tell them I thought you guys were part of my rider for the contract. So
yeah, we definitely we've looked at some of the upcoming trips, and even the trip to Toronto. You had talked about the X Club up there. Like, we had looked at that and said, oh, okay, that'd be an interesting, a fun weekend trip. We may still be able to pull that one off. That's in June, I believe, June 9th through 11th.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to be there. We're going to be at Paradise Lakes in April. Do you know the dates for that? April?
The 14th through the 16th.
14th.
Yeah. Tax weekend.
Yes. But the X Club is just an amazing place. And it's great because in Canada, they don't have to hide the fact that they're a lifestyle club. they have a big neon sign and 6-foot flaming torches out front, and there's a line around the building waiting to get in, and it's just really done well. It's high end inside. It looks like you're in a New York City nightclub, and they have beautiful clothing optional hallway. They have a nude hallway. They have a huge group room with a group shower that's surrounded by glass. They have a BDSM room. I mean, the X Club is really top notch, and the staff and everyone there are just so nice and so accommodating. The owner, Jake, is just $1 million kind of guy.
Yeah. And,
so
and it's right. It's, we've had a lot of conversations when you look at I don't know what the right word, the sexual openness or the acceptance in this country is so much different than when you get to Canada, when you get to Jamaica, when you get to Mexico even. So the fact that, the X Club like that is able to promote it, what it is, right, as compared to here. Here, clubs have to hide themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't understand why, because the world has become so accepting of so much, and yet the lifestyle is made up with all different dynamics and all different desires, but it's all based upon consent. It's all based upon people making the choice and saying, look, I want to enjoy my life. I want to fulfill my fantasies. I want to do this. And no one is forcing anyone to be in the lifestyle or do anything in the lifestyle, but yet it's got to remain hidden and underground here in the States. And it seems so backward to me. When you look at, even in Europe, how they'll have nudity on television or nude beaches or whatever, and it's so uncommon here in the States. And it's just really kind of mind-boggling to me, because you go to these other countries and you're like, wow, this is completely accepted. Like, everybody's fine with this. There's no judgment for it. I mean, they may go home to their private houses and say those people are crazy. They go to hedonism, but face to face, they don't judge you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when you get to European areas, and again through conversations with what some of the adult performers we've had and things like that. Yeah, it's like, no, we're going over to Europe. It's everything is so more accepted and laid back. We're here. It is. It's like it's under the covers. Right.
And I think that's one of the biggest blessings for us with the traveling. Like, we feel so fortunate to be able to travel and perform and everything, but it's kind of like a blessing, because you become so thankful of what you have when you go to these other countries and realize the difference between the United States and a different country. And you sit back and you're like, wow, I really feel thankful for what I have. Did you see the towns we drove through to get here? And it just really makes you appreciate the life that we have.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, especially like Jamaica and Bahamas and stuff like that, where
and you hear a lot of that kind of coming through. I mean, we've seen on a lot of blogs and stuff, the people that are going to hedonism as well. People are asking, hey, what do you take? Because like the staff that they appreciate, whether it be school supplies for the kids or sanitary items and hygiene items. So, the fact that it's, hey, you can go there and these people are appreciative of it, and you see that they struggle for some of the basic necessities that we may have in this country.
And, the thing is people always say, oh, I want to take them something, or I want to give them something. And I really want to stress, Jamaicans are not high dollar people.
Mm-hmm.
If you come down there with notebooks and pencils, or you come down there with things that we take for granted,
they have to pay and their children to school, like out of pocket. They pay for their high school, they pay for elementary school. So the books and supplies and stuff are in high demand for them.
Yeah, and that actually caught me, because I did see somebody on social media. They said, look, backpacks and notebooks and pencils, they'll love that. Something as simple as, and I think it was John and Sheila from Wet Travel.
Chocolate.
They said chocolate. Something as simple as just some basic chocolates.
I bring stuff like that down every time we go.
And it's so fun because you see it's true, genuine excitement when you're giving them M&Ms or, something like that. And it's so nice to bring that kind of happiness to someone with something so cheap as a candy bar.
Sure.
Right.
And
that we take for granted in this country.
Exactly.
100%, and it's just a different world, but I tell everyone, if you took the Jamaicans out of hedonism and you replaced them with Americans, the place would be out of business within 3 months. The Jamaicans truly make the experience what it is. They're always there to help you. They're always smiling. They're always genuine. And they really make Hito what Hito is.
Yeah. And yeah, we've definitely heard that as well.
We've made friends with them. We FaceTime with them. We're always text messaging with the entertainers down there. And, it's so nice because Angel and I have made true lifelong friends that we will be friends with these people long after we're going touring and performing, and long after they're done dancing and singing. These are going to be friends of ours.
We adopted a lot of people.
and the thing is, though, we've talked to other people, like the lifestyle has done it does that. We have friends that we've met in the lifestyle that are by far some of our best friends. We would do anything for, and we know that they would do anything for us.
Oh yeah,
it's just what the lifestyle it means. As you said earlier, we're a small group, but we're a group that is there for each other and support each other.
And, that's the thing with us. When we go to these resorts, there's all kinds of different travel agencies, but we're not there to perform. We're sponsored by World Exotic Travel, but we're not there to perform strictly for the World Exotic Traveler tourists. We're there to perform for hedonism. We play for 400 people in the pool. We play for everyone in the piano bar. We host the games and invite anyone and everyone on property to come up and be part of the fun, because it's one community. We're just because you're with a different agency doesn't mean you're not part of our community and that you can't be friends of ours. We don't look at other companies. We look at everyone as guests of the resort, and we're there to entertain them, And to me, that's really key, because let's face it, we're all lifestyle. We're all here for the same reasons. We've all made the same choices. We're all living out our fantasies. Even though they may differ, they're all our fantasies, and we're there to support each other. And, I think that's what makes performing at these places so much more fun than a vanilla bar, because the people at table 5 aren't talking to the people at table 9. Where in Jamaica, that's not the case. Everyone is interacting and intermingling and having a good time. And I mean, once you go to Hito and realize how up close and personal sometimes it is to get from the pool over to the swim up bar, you'll understand that we all have to be friends here, because we're going to be touching at some point trying to get here. And the other thing is, a lot of times people always tell us, oh, I would love to go to Hito, but I don't want to be naked. I'm too self-conscious to be naked. And I would like to stress, Angel was one of them.
Yes.
And I would like to stress that when you go to Hito and you finally realize, I have to go to the nude pool or I'm going to miss out on this experience, and you come down to the nude pool and you're scared to death to take your towel off, let me explain this. There are 400 nude people in the pool. No one knows you're there. No one is looking at you. You just drop your laundry, get in the pool, make your way up to the bar and get a drink, and start introducing yourself to people. And I guarantee you, within 5 minutes, your inhibitions are gone and you feel weird going near the pool with clothes on. It's the weirdest revelation, but it's not I don't want to say a freeing thing, but honestly, once you're there and you're in that environment, you're the weird one if you have clothes on.
Yeah. And again, it's, that's part of the lifestyle as well. Everybody is different in their own way. Not everybody doesn't look the same. You're built the same. I mean, it's about the difference, the variety, I hate to use the word variety, but that's really what it is. It's the variety. Everybody is different. So it's being comfortable in your own skin.
Exactly. And you find out, oh my God, all these people that I thought were going to be statuesque, beautiful goddesses and gods with perfect bodies and, huge penises and big boobs isn't the case. They're normal people like you and I. It's just you show up and you be yourself and have fun.
Yeah. And a lot of people do have that perception. Oh, this is all models that are there and they're, straight off of the runways or, no, that's not the case. Yeah.
If that were the case, we couldn't afford to go there.
Right.
That is a great point. Yes.
It's not that way. It's normal, everyday people that are going to these resorts and having a blast. And you kind of have to push your limits the first day. But then after that, you have to remember, Hito has the highest revisitism of any resort in the world. So when you go there, it is not uncommon for somebody to come up to you. Older people come up to you and say, I've been here 37 times. They're having a blast and they're in their 70s. You got a 70-year-old body and they're still proud to be naked and have fun and hang out and just have a good time. The lifestyle and the entertainment end of it and these resorts and these hotel takeovers, they all have one goal, fun. It's all about having fun.
That's it. Yeah.
The more I think people branch out and they start to go to events and go to resorts and partake in games and do the different activities that everyone has planned out, the more fun and the more memories they're going to make and carry for a lifetime, and the more friends they're going to make and the more interaction they're going to have. And, and just because you have set rules or set ideals right now, the lifestyle and the dynamics are fluid. They're going to change over time.
Yes, we've talked about that. Yeah. As you get more comfortable, you may see something that you're like, wait a minute. Look, we had a full episode on that back in October at the Exotica convention. Mrs. looked at something and was like, well, just maybe. And I went, what? What? That's always been a hard line. No. I'm like, okay. Went to the next one. We came home with a flogger and dabbled in impact play. I'm like, we've been doing this for 13 plus years. And that was always a hard, we're not going to do that. Well, now here we are. We got rope and we got floggers now. I'm like, okay.
Just one flogger.
All I can say is, hi, I'm Cheeta.
Yeah. I mean, so you're absolutely right. First time you go, maybe the second time something changes a little bit. And again, it's all about expanding and having fun and enjoying yourself.
Exactly. I mean, I have to keep a short leash on Angel because if I'm not paying attention, I've turned my back and the next thing I know, she's over getting electrocuted or she's getting a fire massage or...
I have to try everything.
She's
Nothing
like,
wrong with that?
I let someone put a needle in my back on's.
Yeah, that was...
Wow, okay.
I couldn't do more than one, but I had to feel it.
But she's a looky-loo. She's like, I want to make sure that I'm not passing up something. I'm like, you're setting yourself on fire. And, but... So I try to keep an eye on it.
I loved it, by the way.
Now we're in line every time there's a fire massage person because,
And we actually just saw some of that. We had an interview with a performer, and she talked about fire and kind of looked at that, and I'm like, okay,
it
all
feels
right.
water. It's amazing.
I mean, and I think
Add that to your list.
But I think that's what's kind of changed is like some of that stuff that it was like, no, I don't really think that's for me. I've kind of become more like, oh, do I really know if it? Right. Do I really know if it isn't, if I haven't tried it?
Yeah.
And, there's nothing that says can't try it once and then, I don't like it. That's it.
Yeah.
But then again, it works out for me because she goes off and decides she's going to do these things. And I stand there and watch her get electrocuted or set on fire or have needles pushed into her backs or hot wax dripped on her. And then the next thing I know, she gets up and she's like, come on, we got to go to the room. And I'm like, all right, well,
yep.
Yeah,
all right, cool. Yep, I'm in.
Bring in the crane and the fire engine. I don't care. Whatever. I don't care. Drop her from a rubber band. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, it works out for both parties. All parties involved. There you go.
She gets set on fire, I get laid. Okay, I'm cool.
Yeah, all right. So wrapping things up. So we talked about X Club. So that's coming up for you. The Paradise Lakes takeover. What else kind of coming up here this year do you have on the books now? If people are looking to find you somewhere.
We're going to be at Paradise Lakes, and then we're coming home for 4 days, and then we go to Hedonism for, I think, 8 days. And then we come home from there. And then June, we're going to the X Club. I think in July, we're going to be at North Haven in Michigan.
Okay.
I think was that on the books yet? Do you have a date for that?
I don't have a date yet.
No, they haven't given us a date, but that's what they've told us where we're going.
All right, nice.
And then we will also be back in Hedonism in September, and then maybe the last week of September, definitely the first week of October, and then we're going again, I think in November, the second week. And then we'll be back in Hedo in January for 2 weeks.
Lots coming up.
Yeah, the schedule's really full. And I would like to say that if anyone is interested in booking us, you have to talk to Angel. She keeps my calendar. And if not, we don't show up. So you have no hope of me. I'll say, yeah, sure, I want to do it. But then I'll find out we've got 2 other bookings. So, Angel is like go-to contact for any kind of booking info. Yeah. But all of our trips and all of the things that we're doing are listed.
They should be found at Cheeta and Cheetah and Angel.
Cheetah. It's Cheetah and Angel on Facebook. So you can always add us on Cheetah and Angel on Facebook, and we can we post everything we're doing on there. And we welcome anyone and everyone to join us on any of our trips. Next year they're talking about sending us back to Belize, to Coco Plum Island. That was literally just lifestyles of the rich and famous. It was so beautiful, so much sea life swimming around. You stay in a cabana. The staff knows everyone's name. There's only 40 guests at a time on the takeover. And
we've heard of that one, and I'm like, ooh, that would be a great one. Someone had talked to us about that one.
It's great.
I cried when we left.
Yeah, she literally was crying on the boat going back to the mainland. And I mean, it was just the great excursions. We got engaged on top of a Mayan pyramid on one of the excursions. Nice. We zip line through the jungles, you raft through caves. It's just, you can snorkel, you can scuba dive, and it's just amazing. That was a trip of a lifetime.
Is that the one that during the night they kill all of the lights for a stargazing night?
Yes, they do.
Okay, and that's who it was. That was when we spoke with Wet Travel. They talked about that, and they said it was just a phenomenal, and because you're so far off the mainland and no, light pollution.
Yeah, no, it's 10 miles out to sea.
Yeah.
And when you get off the boat, they have their whole staff is out there with big colorful drinks with umbrellas in them, and they escort you to your cabanas. And I mean, to give you an idea, we were staying in the villa. It's a big 3-bedroom house built over the water, and we were walking out the dock to get to the door, and there were stingrays swimming under our dock. And I was like, I've never seen anything like this in my life. And we laid out on the swim deck. We were fortunate enough they had a meteor shower the one night we were there.
Oh, wow.
And we laid a swim deck on the back of our house until 4 a.m. going, did you see that one? Did you see that one? And there were just meteors falling over the Caribbean. It was just like a chance of a lifetime.
Wow. Very nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That one definitely, like I said, we've heard about that. That one definitely needs to get to the list, as well as Hedonism, as we said.
Yeah, I believe we're going to be there performing again in 2024. That's what's scheduled so far.
Yeah, right.
And then I think we have they're working on a couple dates out in the Poconos and out in Maryland too, for us to be out there sometime soon. They're like hotel takeovers and club dates. So, but if you follow us on Cheetah and Angel on Facebook, all those are posted, and all are welcome to, attend or travel with us. And if you're at an event and you see us, please understand we are just 2 people, and we love to meet people, and we're not going to come up and interfere with your fun, but we would love for anyone to come up and introduce themselves and, chat and get to know us. We're not standoffish at all, and we love to meet people. So the more interaction we get with the audience, the better it is for us.
Yeah. Well, great. Guys, we truly appreciate the time. that you took, and learning more about what you guys are doing, how you're keeping the party going, and getting everybody involved, and really setting the tempo for their trips, for their vacations, or whatever it may be. Again, just let the listeners know, yes, they listed Cheeta and Angel on Facebook. If you're interested to see where they're going and learn more about them, make sure you give them a follow over there. And again, guys, keep it up, because it's definitely a fun time that you're bringing to people, and helping them be comfortable and enjoy their times where they're at.
Well, I've got to say that we're flattered that you invited us on. We're glad to be here. You're our podcast debut. We've never been on the podcast before.
All right. Nice.
And hopefully we'll get to have a party with you guys sometime soon as well.
Definitely looking forward to getting together, to getting something planned here. It'd be a good little excursion for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We'll make sure we make you one of the props for our games.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I ain't got a problem with that.
There's just...
I'm easy.
Just hump a whale that just got my mind spinning.
Yeah, I could try to float or something. Or
creative.
Yeah, exactly.
Trust me, you come to our show, you will never look at a fruit roll up the same way ever again.
Hey, you know what though? After being at lifestyle clubs and hearing certain songs, and then you go to vanilla functions and you hear the same thing, you can't not picture people dancing to it naked.
Yeah, doing games or something with the music. You're right.
People, it's so funny that I've been into music my whole life. And music is a time machine. When you hear songs, it will take you back in time, whether it was making out in the car or going to your first dance or being at the club and something crazy happened. But music is literally a mind time machine. And it does that. You hear a song or you smell something and you're like, oh my God, do you remember when this happened? And I think that's the best part about music. And it's great that you're going down to this vanilla bar and you hear this song and all you can picture are naked people surrounding you on the dance floor. That's the kind of life we want to have and the kind of memories we want to have.
And that's it. And we said before, it's about building memories and having great memories, because, we're not here for an extremely long time, so enjoy it while you can and make those memories.
100%.
All right. Again, thank you guys for your time. We appreciate it, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks for having us.